Hey, what's going on? Keith from Trigger Happy. Going to talk about what I would consider a good value in handguns. And we've reviewed a lot of different handguns over the past couple years on our channel here, all of which have their merits and all of which have their detractions, I guess you should say. But one to me kind of stands above the rest in terms of value. So when I'm talking about that, I'm not talking about the best gun we've ever reviewed, the best gun available on the market. That's not what we're discussing. I'm talking about overall what you get for your money in terms of quality, reliability, just what do you get for your money that you're spending. And some of this has kind of changed over the last few months due to price increases on some models of firearms and then price decreases on others. So the XDM has become a more affordable gun if you buy it in certain configurations over the last 2 to 3 months from what I've seen. This used to be a gun that was often over $600 in many cases. Now it's a gun that's probably around the $550 to $575 ballpark, or sometimes even less. So it's become a really good value for what you're going to pay. Why the XDM? Well, I am a Springfield fan. I own a couple different models of XDM. I've shot XDS. I've shot, just a lot of their product. And I have to say, I've always been impressed with, its function and its reliability. I have Smith & Wesson. I've had Glocks. I've owned a lot of different handguns, all of which I have been very impressed with, SIGs, you name it. But the Springfield, for what you get in the box, I think it's just a fantastic value. So what do you get? Well, first of all, you get a quality firearm. This is the XDM 4.5 inch. You'll see this is the olive drab design. I've noticed that when I was talking about the price changes, the 4.5 inch model, if you get the non-stainless version, has come down in price quite a bit over the past few months. The stainless versions are still quite expensive. In fact, my wholesale cost can be as much as $100 difference between just the regular version and the stainless. So in my opinion, not worth the extra money. I certainly like the looks of the stainless a little better, but this is a sharp looking gun. 4.5 inch barrel in this version. The 3.8 inch barrel is also in the same price ballpark. The XDM has a ton of features. It has the largest capacity magazine, factory magazine I should say, that you can buy. 19 rounds of 9mm. That is phenomenal. You get 2 in the case, which is also good. I always like when more than one magazine is included. 19 rounds is a ton of firepower. What do I like about the gun? Well, in the 4.5 inch model, it's very well balanced. I find that recoil is obviously light in a 9mm anyway, but it's just soaked up really, really well in this 4.5 inch version, and it's just so well balanced. I shoot it really well. Sights are excellent. 3-dot pattern. These are metal sights, durable and rugged. You're not going to find plastic sights. Never been a fan of the Glock sights. I think that the XDM sights are far superior to Glock. I have some Novak sights on my Smith & Wesson. Like those a little bit better than these, but again, for standard sights right out of the box, they're great. The other thing I like about what Springfield does, you'll notice that the sights are set as far out on the slide as possible, so you're maximizing that slide radius, or I'm sorry, that sight picture, that sight radius there on this particular handgun, which I really like. The longer the slide and the longer the barrel and the longer the sight picture, the more accurate it's going to be, because it's just easier to line up and it's more precise. I like the fact that they're Picatinny rail. has multiple slot options. On some of the Glock Gen 3s, you'll find that there's one option. So if your light or your laser combo or whatever you've got on there doesn't fit just right, well, too bad. You're stuck with what you got. With this, you've got options to move it around. Like the squared trigger guard, like the grip texturing here. I've always been a fan of that, and I like the addition of changeable back straps. Springfield was kind of ahead of its time in including those, and I think it's become almost a standard option anymore. Smith & Wesson, Glock, FNH, a lot of companies having that additional backstrap option, which I think is a great thing. I'm a fan of the grip safety. I've always liked it. I don't know why. It's just kind of, I'm a 1911 guy, so I'm used to it, so it's never bothered me. It's an additional safety it's kind of a passive safety almost. If I'm gripping the handgun, it's on, so big deal. I don't know why people make such a big deal about this. I like it. The trigger leaves a little to be desired. Safety checked, obviously. No magazine. You see here, there is some pull. There's some bring up to it, but it's got a pretty crisp. Oh, see, there we go. Didn't have my hand all the way on. Pretty crisp break to it. A little bit of over travel, not a lot. Show you here again. Okay, and then it's got a nice reset. You'll see. You can hear it. You can feel it. I like that. Some guns are a little mushy, hard to find the reset. Not a problem here. Other stuff that's in the box, again, you get a basic holster, you get a magazine loading tool, and you get your magazine holster as well, in a nice plastic hard case that's actually usable. You could take all the stuffing out of this and use it for something else if you wanted. So I like that. Again, all for a price of $550, $575. I think it's head and shoulders above the competition in terms of what's included and the quality of what you're getting. Lastly, when it comes to reliability, like I said, I've shot a lot of Springfields, and I've said in other videos in the past that if you came to my house in the middle of the night uninvited, the gun you get at meet is a Springfield XD 40 and that still holds true today. I trust my Springfield over any other gun that I own. It's kind of my standard that I compare everything else to, simply because it's never ever failed me after thousands of rounds fired. I have never ever had a problem with that particular handgun, and hopefully this one will hold true. Haven't shot nearly as many rounds through this gun, as you can probably tell. It's relatively new for me, but I like the XDM. I think it's well worth your time to take a look at it. The biggest knock here for the whole thing, and I say it in a lot of videos, and you know what's coming, non-American made. I don't like that. I wish Springfield would at least bring some of their production to the States. I know it's probably more expensive, but other companies are doing it. Get on board. We want an American-made gun from the American company, clear back to the Revolution, Springfield Armory. I know it's not the same, but it's got that name, so that's what they're playing on. Anyway, check it out. XDM from Springfield. In my opinion, the best value in handguns for what you're paying out today on the market. Could certainly change soon, but it's well worth your time. Thanks again, Keith from Trigger Happy.